It is during hardship and adversity that some of the greatest innovations emerge from the ashes of necessity. No other period so defines this, however, as the Great Depression of American society. During the 1930s, it was at this time when the most unbelievable things happened to most Americans. Creativity thrived as families tried to find ways to live off nothing at all. Let's travel back to the past to experience 15 Depression-era meals, which not only kept families together, but also gave them lessons about frugality and resourcefulness. The Great Depression, marked by the crash of the stock market in 1929, lasted for a whole decade. This event left the entire nation in disarray. Effects were catastrophic. Unemployment rose as high as almost 25% by 1933, and wages declined. Basic needs, especially food, became out of reach for many families. Food shortage had become rampant, and with increasing prices, families could merely subsist on government aid, charity hands, and community kitchens. In rural areas, families would turn towards self-sufficiency through farming and gardening, while others would seek foraging to supplement a meager diet. Those living in cities managed to stretch every dollar, reusing leftovers, rationing their meals, and substituting cheaper ingredients for more expensive ones. In the face of these daunting challenges, Americans demonstrated their remarkable ability to adapt. The recipes we're about to explore are more than just meals. They symbolize the resilience and ingenuity of a generation that learned to make the most of what they had. Wasting food was unthinkable during this era, and every dish was crafted with care and creativity. Fast forward to today, and these Depression-era meals still offer valuable lessons. Each dish can be prepared for under $5, proving that a filling, nutritious meal doesn't have to break the bank. Whether you're looking to cut down on grocery bills, get creative with pantry staples, or simply appreciate the resourcefulness of the past, these meals remain as relevant and satisfying now as they were then. Before revealing the recipes, I think I should give a shout out to an excellent resource if interested in delving further into the history of preservation methods and old-fashioned superfoods that were utilized during the Depression and wartime. You can access an entire special book by veteran prepper Claude Davis entitled Lost Superfoods and Preservation Techniques. That's a resource wealth that emphasizes the ingenuity of our ancestors. Let's see now the 15 Depression-era meals that were essential in guiding families through their worst days and how they can bring comfort and saving money to our present times. 1. Cornmeal mush. What it is. Cornmeal mush was a staple for many families during the Depression, valued for its affordability and filling nature. This simple dish of just cornmeal and water was something that could be served at any time of the day, be it as a hot cereal for breakfast or fried in a pan for dinner. Why it was popular? Cornmeal was plentiful and very inexpensive, so it was a staple in any Depression household. It could be bought in large quantities, so families could stock their pantries for months. The versatility of cornmeal mush, which could be served plain, sweetened with sugar or molasses, or topped with leftover meats or vegetables, added to its popularity. How to make it today for under $1. To prepare cornmeal mush, boil 4 cups of water, then gradually add in 1 cup of cornmeal. Stir constantly so as not to form lumps. Cook for approximately 20 minutes until thickened. It is ready to serve when it has cooled down a bit. It can also be set in the refrigerator. It is then sliced and fried to crispy. 2. Hoover Stew. What it is. Hoover Stew, named after President Herbert Hoover, isn't a traditional stew, but rather a hodgepodge of whatever ingredients were on hand. Typically pasta, canned vegetables, and bits of leftover meat. It was commonly served in community kitchens and designed to feed large groups on a tight budget. Why it was popular. This dish was adopted by soup kitchens across the country, where cheap government food rations of macaroni, canned vegetables, and hot dogs were used. Families at home also adopted it for the same reasons, where it stretched very limited ingredients into a warm, filling meal. How to make it today for under $2. To make Hoover Stew today, cook a box of macaroni or any cheap pasta, then mix it with a can of diced tomatoes, mixed vegetables, and sliced hot dogs. Let it simmer for a few minutes, and you have a fulfilling meal for the whole family. 3. Potato pancakes. What it is? Potato pancakes are the comfort food par excellence that took up the banner for potatoes as they happen to be plenty and not costly. Crunchy and delectable potato delights are grated and mixed with flour and spices before deep frying till golden brown. Why it was popular? Potatoes were one of the cheapest staples during the Depression, easily stored for long periods without spoiling. Their versatility allowed families to prepare them in countless ways: mashed, boiled, fried, or baked. Potato pancakes offered a filling meal from just a few simple ingredients. How to make it today for under $1. To prepare potato pancakes, grate 2 or 3 medium-sized potatoes, squeeze out excess moisture, and mix with a couple of tablespoons of flour and a pinch of salt. If available, add grated onion for flavor. Fry spoonfuls in hot oil until golden brown, and serve them with applesauce or sour cream for a delightful treat. 4. Dandelion Salad. What it is? Dandelion salad consists of wild dandelion greens, which grow abundantly across North America. During the Depression, people turned to foraging to supplement their diets, and dandelions, once dismissed as weeds, became a valuable food source. Why it was popular? Dandelions were free and packed with nutrients, making them an essential addition to the diet of families struggling to afford fresh produce. Rich in vitamins A, C, and minerals like iron and calcium, these greens provided a nutritious option during a time when every penny counted. How to make it today for free or nearly free. For foraging for dandelions, ensure they are picked from pesticide-free lands. Wash the leaves thoroughly, then combine with olive oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper to make a basic dressing. In case you wish to add a bit of protein, you can throw in boiled eggs or cheese. Honey or lemon juice may complement the bitterness from the greens by adding a refreshing quality to your dish, which could be quite nutritional. 5. Bean soup. What it is? Bean soup was a beloved staple during the Great Depression, known for being cheap, simple, and nutritious. Made from dried beans, water, and seasonings, this hearty soup provided essential protein and fiber without straining the budget. Why it was popular? Beans were one of the cheapest items on the grocery list, and families could buy them in quantity. Dried beans kept a long time and could be prepared into a filling meal that fed big families for a long time. A bean soup could simmer for hours using scraps of vegetables or bones to add flavor. How to make it today for under $2. To make bean soup, start by soaking a bag of dried beans overnight. Then drain the water and add it to a large pot with some water or broth. Add in any extra vegetables you have on hand for added flavor, along with seasonings like salt, pepper, and a bay leaf. Let it simmer until the beans are soft, and for an authentic touch, add a ham bone or bacon scraps if available. 6. Goulash. What it is? Goulash, a dish that originated in Central Europe, gained popularity in America during the Depression as a means of using leftovers. This thick stew combines several meats and vegetables with pasta to create a filling meal. Why it was popular? Goulash was an inexpensive dish that used whatever scraps were available, so it was a good option for families who had very little money. The comfort of goulash brought warmth and satisfaction to families in difficult times. How to make it today for under $4. Make goulash. Brown some ground beef or any leftover meat in a pot. Then add chopped onions, garlic, and whatever veggies you have on hand. Throw in a can of diced tomatoes and add 1 cup of water or broth and maybe a sprinkle of paprika or Italian seasoning. Boil until everything is bubbly, add elbow macaroni, and cook until pasta is tender. 7. Chipped beef on toast. What it is? Chipped beef on toast is also known by the colloquialism SOS, short for same old stuff. It's dried, salted beef in a creamy white sauce over toast. It's a Depression and wartime staple, as it used preserved meats with bread that was relatively inexpensive. Why it was popular? Fresh meat was often a luxury during the Depression, and families would often rely on preserved options. Chipped beef was salty and tough, but could become a hearty meal if served over toast in a creamy sauce. How to make it today for under $3. To prepare chipped beef on toast, melt the butter and make a roux by stirring in the flour. Slowly whisking in the milk, cook until the sauce thickens. Add slices of chipped beef and cook until heated through. Serve the sauce over toasted bread for a heartwarming supper. 8. Milk toast. What is it? This is milk toast, the reassuring comfort of day-old bread plunged into warm milk, usually dotted with sugar and cinnamon. An easy dish used by families whose stomachs wanted whatever could fill their bellies as little else remained. Why it was popular? Bread was very cheap during the Depression, and instead of wasting stale bread, families turned it into a warm, comforting dish. Milk toast was an easy-to-digest meal, great for children and the elderly. How to prepare it today for under $2. To make milk toast, toast slices of stale bread until golden. Warm milk in a saucepan, adding sugar or cinnamon to taste. Pour the warm milk over the toast and let it soak. Some like a pat of butter on top for extra richness. 9. Wacky Cake. What it is? Wacky Cake, also known as eggless, milkless, and butterless cake, was a Depression-era dessert that allowed families to indulge in something sweet even when baking staples were scarce. Made from flour, sugar, and baking soda, it used vinegar and oil in place of eggs and butter. Why it was popular? With eggs, milk, and butter often too expensive, Wacky Cake was a solution for families craving baked goods. Its easy preparation made it accessible to novice bakers. How to make it today for under $4. To make Wacky Cake, mix 1.5 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 0.5 teaspoons of salt, and 1 teaspoon of vinegar in a bowl. Make 3 wells in the mixture and add the oil, vanilla, and water. Stir until smooth, pour into a baking pan, and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes. 10. Peanut butter soup. What is it? Peanut butter soup is an unusual yet healthy Depression-era meal that kept families going through times of meat scarcity with a good amount of protein. It was even combined as a creamy soup, which melded peanut butter with some broth or milk. Why it was famous? Peanut butter was somewhat of a staple because it kept longer than meat. The cost of this staple also made it an attractive choice for families looking to stretch meals. How to make it today for under $3. To make peanut butter soup, warm 1.5 cups of water or broth in a saucepan. Add 1.5 cups of peanut butter, whisking until smooth. For a richer soup, stir in a cup of milk. Season with a pinch of salt and serve warm with bread or crackers. 11. Fried cabbage and noodles. What it is? Fried cabbage and noodles is a simple dish combining sautéed cabbage with cooked noodles, seasoned with salt, pepper, and butter. Cabbage was one of the cheapest vegetables during the Depression. Why it was popular? Cabbage was nutritious, affordable, and had a long shelf life. When paired with noodles, families created a satisfying meal with minimal ingredients. How to make it today for under $3. To make this recipe, first, cook a half pound of egg noodles per the package directions. In a skillet, melt butter and cook sliced cabbage that is very thinly sliced until softened. Mix the cooked noodles together with the soft cabbage and season. Here's a meal that won't hurt your budget. 12. Bologna Casserole. This is a simple dish made of sliced bologna, mixed vegetables, and pasta or potatoes and topped with creamy sauce. Why it was popular? Bologna was one of the cheapest meats available, making it a staple in many households. Its versatility allowed families to stretch their protein while incorporating other inexpensive ingredients. How to make it today for under $4. To make Bologna Casserole, layer slices of bologna in a casserole dish. Add cooked pasta or diced potatoes and pour cream soup on top. For texture, sprinkle breadcrumbs and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes until bubbly. 13. Raisin Pudding. What is it? Raisin pudding is a simple dessert made with raisins, flour, sugar, and spices. Dried fruits like raisins were affordable and long-lasting during the Depression. Why it was popular? Raisins were one of the cheapest dried fruits available, so families could afford to have a sweet treat without spending much. How to prepare it today for under $3. Mix 1.5 cups of raisins, 1 cup of flour, 0.5 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder to make raisin pudding. Add half a cup of milk, pour it into a greased dish, and bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 to 35 minutes. Conclusion. These Depression-era meals, besides being nostalgic and evocative of the challenging time in which they were created, hold practical lessons for today's world, where increasing food costs have become a huge challenge. Rediscovery of these dishes can help teach how creativity and resourcefulness can make a meaningful impact, even in tough times. If you found this exploration insightful, please like, subscribe, and share your own frugal recipes or tips in the comments below. Join us in our next video as we continue to learn and appreciate the lessons from the past while navigating our present.